Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching My Media Prime Television. This is the 6:30 p.m. edition of News. We're beaming live from Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. My name is Fon Quinter. The news starts now. The indomitable Lions of Cameroon will be playing their second match at the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations tournament in Yaoundé tomorrow, January 13, 2022. Our reporter Catherine Ekongwe sampled the opinions of some Douala city dwellers who shared different predictions. Her report.
After the match on Sunday between Cameroon and Burkina Faso, where Cameroon wins Burkina Faso 2-1, football fans in the city of Douala have expressed mixed feelings over the match scheduled to take place on Thursday, December 13, 2022, between Cameroon and Ethiopia.
Cameroon, they will do pretty good because I haven't seen the first game, but I saw the review, and what I saw, I think they are ready to have a good game tomorrow.
I am confident that Cameroon will win Ethiopia, and I will be there to watch the match live. As some are of the opinion that Cameroon will win the match, others have expressed doubt on the other hand. I am not sure they will win the match if they play the same way they played with Burkina Faso, because players refuse to give balls to others in the field. If Cameroon puts more efforts, we are sure of winning the match. But if they play same way like the match on Sunday, I'm not sure they will win. From the different anticipation of the game, which is expected to take place on Thursday, 5 p.m. Cameroon time, is hoped to be a crowd-pulling avenue for Cameroonian fans, as it was the case during the opening game.
The Confederation of African Football has officially opened her doors to one of Africa and Cameroon's leading insurance companies, Prudential Beneficial, as official partners of the 33rd edition of the Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations. This, according to them, is to help the people involved as well as benefactors get the most out of life. Magdala Eyong Besong with details.
One of Cameroon's finest insurance company, Prudential Beneficial, has been officially endorsed as official insurance partners of the Confederation of African Football for the 33rd edition of the African Cup of Nations staged in Cameroon. First ever football partnership for Prudential Beneficial, who have been in Africa for almost a decade and places trade in Togo, Zambia, Kenya, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Uganda, amongst others. This partnership with Africa's biggest football set piece is aimed at promoting excellence, health and well-being, and why not football, to grow local talents. As the words of Roger Milaboro states, football is a leading political party in Cameroon. Prudential's CEO for the North region shared their reasons for supporting football.
Some of you may wonder, why would Prudential support a soccer tournament? Why are we being involved today in this? And united and win. It is not just about having the best people together. It is about making them just like an orchestra, a symphony. Everybody needs to play his part, work together, and be the best in a specific section.
And according to the CEO of Prudential Beneficial for Cameroon, the AFCON sponsorship is an extension of the ambition to help their clients get the most out of life. This gesture is also extended to students whose fees and needs are taken care of.
We have a quite good number of students that we continue paying their fees after the demise of their sponsors. So yes, with that we help get our younger ones the education that they need in order to be better citizens.
CAF side represented by Sandra Latorre, who is Chief of Staff General Secretary, and Mr. Ewane Eli, Acting Marketing and Partnership Director of the Confederation of African Football, were pleased to have announced a partnership with their loan insurance sponsors.
I think what's more important is that African football is strong. African football has a lot of interest, and we are partnering with some of the best companies. Prudential being, of course, one of them. I think we're really looking forward to what comes next. The tournament has just started. We've witnessed a few beautiful games, but I think whatever comes next is going to be fantastic.
Pleased to clear the air on having chosen Prudential Beneficial amongst other partners, Ewane Eli thinks the best and biggest African football tournament deserves just the best partners, even if the competition were not in Cameroon.
If Prudential want to continue the partnership with us, next year in Côte d'Ivoire, there will be an opportunity to partner with us when the tournament is also played outside of Cameroon. So I don't think there's a specific reason why Prudential is partnering with CAF because the tournament is being played in Cameroon. I think the nature of CAF, being the main governing body of football in Africa, makes it a natural fit.
Prudential Beneficial looks forward to many more future partnerships with the Confederation of African Football and the game of football being the ultimate winner.
The 45th Annual Seminar of Cameroon Bishops plus the 40th anniversary of the creation of the Ngaoundéré Diocese has kicked off in Ngaoundéré, the Mawa region of Cameroon. The seminar, which began on January 8, will run through the 15th of January 2022. Join Gang with details.
The opening of the 45th Annual Seminar of Cameroon Bishops, which coincided with the celebration of the Ruby Jubilee of the creation of the Diocese of Ngaoundéré, took place on Monday in Room A of Monseigneur Jean Pasquet Pastoral Center in Ngaoundéré. The celebrations were launched under the theme, the National Episcopal Conference of Cameroon, its mission today in the church and in society. In attendance during the opening ceremony were all bishops of Cameroon, administrative, military and political authorities of Ngaoundéré. The aim of the Bishops' Seminar is to present and debate on the strategic plan of the National Episcopal Conference of Cameroon.
The Bishops of Cameroon for the past 2 years have been reflecting on the kind of conference that we want, and I think this is kind of a conclusion. What is our mission? Now that we know what our conference is and what we are supposed to be doing, we now want to reflect on our mission within the church, in the society and in our country. This is very important for us. We have to stay focused every time because we have to move our conference forward and at the same time see how to be the salt of our society and the light of our church.
Regarding the celebration of the Ruby Jubilee of the Diocese of Ngaoundéré, the objective, according to His Grace Bishop Emmanuel Abo, is to thank God for their accomplishments so far and set future goals.
L'objectif de la célébration des 40 ans, nous avons tout simplement voulu.
Our objective of the 40th anniversary celebration is to remind ourselves of our accomplished task, thank God for all the realizations of the first missionaries in the past, evaluate the works that the rest of us are doing in the diocese. We equally want to auto-criticize the effort we are making to realize our various projects and together plan for the future by elaborating and defining the missions we will undertake.
D'autres axes missionnaires dans lesquels, n'est-ce pas, nous allons nous déployer.
The opening of the seminar was marked by a Holy Mass celebrated last Sunday by Bishop Emmanuel Abo, Bishop of the host diocese, dedicated to the Marial Sanctuary of Our Lady of the Apostles of Marza. The seminar closes next Saturday, January 15, 2022.
Mais il vient celui qui est
Senator Barrister Kemende Henry, member of the Upper House of Parliament, is no more. The prominent senator was killed and his vehicle taken away by unknown gunmen yesterday, January 11, 2022, in Bamenda Northwest region of the country. His death has left family members inconsolable, as we hear in this report. Family members inconsolable as they walk into the residence of late barrister Kemende Henry Gapsi after he was shot dead yesterday, January 11, 2022. The words of firebrand barrister Kemende Henry Gapsi, senator of the Social Democratic Front political party for the Northwest region, addressed in the Senate some 2 years ago when the draft bill on special status was tabled in Parliament.
This is one of those bills. This is where the upper house met up of important dignitaries who have served this nation and who are interested in seeing that they leave the nation intact for the children and grandchildren. This is when their voices have to be heard over this bill.
Unfortunately, the voice of Senator Kemende won't be heard anymore. The vocal member of parliament was shot dead yesterday, January 11, 2022, in the conflict-stricken northwest region of Cameroon at about 7 p.m. According to reports, the prominent senator succumbed to bullet wounds at PMI Hospital after he was shot on the left side of his chest by unidentified gunmen and his body dumped around Maitun in Bamenda 3 subdivision.
Yesterday, around 3:30, I closed from work. Yes, I closed for work. Go back for house. Go reach house. My boss still called me back. Say, well, come back home. Can't take motor go buy Mimbo. I come back, can't take motor, go down for Commercial Avenue, buy Mimbo. Come back, I meet you. Around 5:30, we'll leave his front door. He said he went to a friend them. I go me back for house. Then afterward, they call me, they tell me, say, no, they don't shoot far. As I come, we go reach for hospital. The show say he come out for house, so now we go leave work around 7:30. We go leave work around 7:30. After that it happened, and then presently we don't know play motor. They shoot it, they take a motor go with them, and then they take the phone. They use the phone for some few hours. Go for around past 10 for night. The phone they today online, where they show say they still use the phone, and they walk away go leave them. We never hear get the whereabouts. We don't know whether I see the alarm.
The late SDF senator of Bali Kumbat in the Northwest region and founder of Posterity Law Office will be remembered for his outspoken nature and being a true representative of his people.
I'm wondering whether all of us, the senators, or all of us, the parliamentarians of this country, will understand what is meant by parliamentary democracy. Okay. Parliamentary democracy. That is, in fact, parliament is even has been couched out from the word parler. It's French. I'm surprised about it. Parle, parlement. Là on parle, where we talk. You get the point? But if you cannot talk there as a people's representatives, then tell me whether the people you represent can talk. If you cannot talk as a representative in a house where talking is the order of the day, where talking is what even the parliament stands for, can then the people you are representing, can they talk?
The death of Senator Kemende is the second death recorded by the Social Democratic Front Party on the same day. He died hours after the former communications secretary of the party, Beatrice Animbom Monju, who passed away at the Mbingo Baptist Hospital after a prolonged illness. And to something else, the launching ceremony of the Sahel on Sahel Collaborative Visual Anthropology Project took place yesterday in Gaundari. The event was chaired by the rector of the University of Gaundari, Professor Ufi Chenjo Melo, who lauded the project, which brought together other universities within and beyond the national borders. Naraka Kebi Thos Osman.
Yesterday, January 11, 2022, the Sahel on Sahel Collaborative Visual Anthropology Project was launched at the Amphitheater 150 of the University of Gaundari in the Adamawa region of Cameroon. The launching ceremony of the Sahel on Sahel Collaborative Visual Anthropology Project was chaired by the rector of the University of Gaundari, Professor Ufen Chinje. According to the rector, the project will bring various universities together and equally aimed at fruitful exchanges to enhance students' capacities.
As I said, it's an inter-university project that concerns 5 universities. University of Tromsø in Norway, as well as 2 universities in Cameroon, University of Gaundari and University of Marwa, University of Bamako, and University of Agamono. So there's a lot of exchange within this, and a lot more from the north-south. I mean, we're very grateful in Norwegian input into this project. It's a continuation of the Vista project. It opens a lot more, and it will integrate a lot more of the local people, the society, and the youths.
Another personality who attended the launching of the Sahel Collaborative Visual Anthropology Project was the Norwegian ambassador to Cameroon, His Excellency Privé Volde Horda, who shared his thoughts as well.
Especially in Ghana, University because of long, close cooperation now. We're celebrating 30 years. Today we mark the beginning of a new project called Sahel, which Norway has contributed $2.3 million to. And I'm very happy that we can continue the cooperation between the universities here and also in Mara, now also across Sahel with universities in Niger and in Mali. So I'm very pleased that we can continue this close cooperation.
It is hoped that during the next 6 years, some deployments will be made in order to promote visual anthropology and the training of young Africans in the use of visual and dialogue of international conflicts, as well as bringing societies together. The work and efforts to launch the project will end on January 15, 2022.
The sports matches of the three at the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations tournament went hitched through in stadia across Cameroon, with the Pharaohs of Egypt bowing to the Eagles of Nigeria 0-1, while Mali beat Tunisia 1-0 today. Get details on all the three matches with Nsah.
Encounters for the three at the ongoing African Championship were unfavorable for most teams who played their opening games. Group D and E were at center stage on Tuesday, January 11, 2022, with Kelechi Iheanacho netting a vital win for Nigeria, who opened their group phase with a 1-0 win against Egypt. The clash between the Super Eagles of Nigeria, runners-up in the 2019 edition of the championship, and the Pharaohs of Egypt, 7-time winners of the AFCON, was anticipated as one of the big group stage clashes. The other two teams in Group D, Sudan and Guinea-Bissau, recorded 1 point each after their 0-0 tie, making Nigeria top in Group D with 3 points. While in Group E, Sierra Leone and defending champions Nigeria recorded a 0-0 draw, placing them at the top of the classification table of Group E, as teams Ivory Coast and Equatorial Guinea played their openers today at 8 p.m. It is worth mentioning that Mohamed Kamara, goalkeeper of Team Sierra Leone, was crowned man of the match in the game against Algeria. On the one hand, the 4 matches this Wednesday saw Tunisia locking horns with Mali at the Limba Omnisport Stadium, a Group F encounter, while Mauritania clashed on Gambia at the Japoma Stadium in Douala, a Group E match, making it the last round 1 matches. Meanwhile, the 5 matches for round 2, scheduled for Thursday, January 13, 2022, will see Cameroon clashing with Ethiopia at 5 p.m. and Cape Verde will face Burkina Faso at 8 p.m.
Still in sports, let's now take you behind the scenes of AFCON 2021. Dolly Gonde puts together the most hilarious trends and moments of the game. Her report.
Since the start of AFCON 2021, a lot has been happening that can keep the media silent, from the grandeur opening ceremony of the games, which has received worldwide accolades, to the loud-speaking victory of the indomitable Lions during the opening game against opponent team Burkina Faso. We continue to dig deep behind the scenes of AFCON 2021. What's making headline news behind the 2021 AFCON scenes? After Cameroon's alarming victory, the prevailing games have seen the mighty falling like none would have ever imagined. Egypt, one of Africa's most threatening teams, losing its first encounter to Nigeria. Not left aside, Algeria, one of the last teams to arrive Cameroon for the long-awaited tournament, whose 3 sports journalists covering the AFCON 2021 Jamboree got attacked recently in the nation's economic capital of Douala, have also received a humiliating defeat in the hands of Sierra Leone. But what could be more humiliating than a journalist's tough question for a coach as this? Then that's when you know the French language becomes comprehensive enough for everyone.
Coach, depuis hier à la conférence de presse, vous insistez effectivement sur le climat. Est-ce à dire qu'en Algérie il ne fait pas chaud? En d'autres termes, si vous aviez joué à 18h, 19h ou 20h, vous auriez pété l'équipe de la Sierra Leone? C'est ma question.
Monsieur, vous êtes journaliste? Si vous voulez comparer ça à l'Algérie, aujourd'hui en Algérie, il fait froid dans tous les organismes de chaque athlète, et notamment des joueurs qui ont l'habitude justement de jouer en majorité en Europe. Simplement. Et vous êtes journaliste, vous n'êtes pas météorologue.
Away from that, Garoua leaves the rhythm of AFCON 2021 with a good reason, as charter flights landed on the tarmac of the Garoua International Airport, receiving Egyptian, Nigerian and other football lovers. Striking enough, our Nigerian neighbors have been invading the city both on land and on air, with many thanking the new president of Fecafoot, Samuel Eto'o, for everything, particularly the magnificent stadium. Though some of their comments online have not been too friendly against their government, however, we sincerely apologize but appreciate the soothing comments nonetheless. Another AFCON 2021 behind-the-scenes story that's breaking airwaves is this rare footage of Guinea-Bissau's and Sudanese football fans taking the floor positions to watch the Nigerian and Egyptian encounter, which took place on Tuesday, January 12, 2022, with the hope that a victory of either teams would offer their home teams a possibility of qualifying for the next round, as both teams would advance as best third. And to wrap up today's package, according to our colleagues from the Africa Foot United,
The Lingande reports in there, and the first successful animal-to-human heart transplant was done last week in Maryland, USA, on a 57-year-old man suffering from a terminal heart disease. Bukengo Wadi with details.
David Bennett, a 57-year-old man in Maryland suffering from last-stage heart disease, was given a second chance at life through a genetically modified pig heart plant by doctors and surgeons at the University of Maryland Medical Center. He becomes the first man to ever receive a pig heart transplant worldwide.
We started the surgery on our patient around 8:30. He had had previous heart surgery, so it took a while to prepare the operative site such that we could remove his heart and replace it with that of the animals. That process took a few more hours, and really towards the end of the afternoon, we were prepared to discontinue the surgery and test the new heart in its new environment. And we were quite pleased that as we separated from the heart-lung machine, the animal heart was functioning, by my eye at least, just about as normal as we could have expected. He simply didn't want to die, doesn't want to die. And he felt that if he had no opportunity, and he was pretty well convinced by multiple doctors who had told him he had a fatal disease and he was unlikely to leave the hospital because of it. With that as a background, as an alternative, he said to me two very important things. He said, I don't want to die. And he said, if I do, maybe you'll learn something to help others.
The transplant was considered a last hope for Mr. David Bennett, who have been deemed ineligible for a human heart transplant. To this regard, the doctors at the University of Maryland Medical Center were granted special dispensation by the United States medical regulator to carry out the procedure.
He's awake, he is recovering and speaking to his caregivers, and we hope that the recovery that he is having now will continue. Well, our patient looked like a pretty healthy 57-year-old, except that his heart was failing, and it failed badly. He was transferred from another hospital to our cardiologist here at University of Maryland Medical Center, where he stayed about 2 weeks under intensified care in spite of multiple medications to drive his heart.
This development, according to health experts worldwide, could bring the health sector closer to solving the global organ shortage burden, which is considered to be 1,500 out of 30,000 per country, such as India. It is worth mentioning that health experts have been turning to xenotransplantation, which is the transplantation of organs from animal to human, since 1970, in a bid to meet up with global health organ demand crisis.
Bokengo, well, this report ends today's edition of Prime News on My Media Prime Television. Coming up just after the news is Focus on AFCON with Magdala A. Young Besson. Keep watching My Media Prime Television. We meet again tomorrow for another edition of Prime News. Good night.
La bonne musique ne se trompe pas. Elle va droit au fond de l'âme, chercher le chagrin qui